Okay, so let's run through some of the answers to the homework that's due for today. I'm going to start off with the simplifying expressions, I think. I'm going to look at a couple of those questions. Okay, so I'm going to do one question from the green, one from yellow, and one from blue. Okay, so simplifying expressions, if I do, I'm going to do question 2, part n. So this is one from green. And it says 11pq plus 3qp. So are these able to be sorry. So that's not meant to be a G, that's a Q. Okay, so are these able to be added together? Yes, because PQ and QP are the same thing because commutative multiplication, one times the other is the same as the other times it. So that can be 14pq, and then we go in alphabetical order after that. Okay, let's try one from yellow. I'm going to do question 4, F. So question 4F was 12a plus 5a minus 16. Now we're given some additional information. A is 7. I want you to simplify first. So the like terms here are the a terms. So 12 apples, 5 apples, 17 apples, or a. Minus 16 cannot be subtracted from 17. No, it can't. They are not the same term. So it's just 17a take away 16. Then I could substitute my 7 in for a. 17 times 7. So 17a is 17 a's, and a is 7. And then I can either do this in my head or multiply out the long way, and it's 119 take away 16, and that gives an answer of 103. That's my answer to that one. Okay, let's do one of the blue ones. I'm going to do question 10, part D, the last part. So y times 6d minus or plus 2y times 3d plus 2or. Okay, so I'm going to run through how to do this. So this will be using the the distributive rule. So I've got to multiply y by both of these and then 2y by both of these. Okay, so y times 6d, 6dy. So you just kind of shove the letters together if they can't be actually multiplied. It's d times y, and that's as much as we know. Y times or is or y, I suppose, if we do alphabetical order, or y, and that's still minus because it's a plus then the minus. Plus 2y times 3, that'd be, well, plus anyway because they're both positive. 2 times 3 gives 6, and y times d also gives dy. And the last one then, plus times plus is going to be a plus. 2 times 2 gives 4, and or times y gives or y. All right, now that's expanded, so remove the brackets. Now I need to add or subtract any like terms. So 6dy and another 6dy, they're like terms, that gives 12dy. 4 or y, subtract 1 or y, leaves me with 3 or y, positive 3, because it's positive 4 or y, subtract 1 or y. And that's the answer to 10D for the simplifying expressions worksheet. Okay. Going to move on to the other worksheet that was from yesterday's class. I'm going to look at one from green, one from yellow, one from blue, and that. I just need to get it up on my screen. So that was the simplifying, expanding, and substitution more. Okay, so the green-yellow level, that was question 1. I'm going to look at, that's when or is 5 and S is 7. I'm going to look at part H, which was or S times 3 plus S. Now the question asks you to sub into the following expressions, then evaluate. Okay, so there's a lot of S's that looks like 5, so hopefully you're able to follow along. So substitute first, or is 5, so that or is 5. That S is 7. 3 is still 3, and this S is 7. Okay, I can put it in brackets if I want, but it's not always necessary. My first bit of action is do with anything that's within the brackets first. So why not do this? I can do this operation. So this is still just 5, it's still just 7. 3 plus 10, or 7 gives 10. Okay, now I've just left with answers inside the brackets. Brackets, 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 that means multiply, multiply, multiply. So 5 times 7 is 35, and that's then multiplied by 10, because I'm doing from left to right if they all have the same value, so multiplication is all the same. 35 times 10 is 350, and that's the answer to 1H. Okay, let's try one of the blue questions. We're going to actually do 2 of the blue questions. So this is question 2. In the expression x is 5, x is 3, y is 5, z is 9. So this is from the blue worksheet. I'm going to do part I. And part I is 7 minus 12 over x times 4y. So once again, evaluate each expression. So I could multiply first and then sub in, but I think it's easier to substitute first and then do any multiplication afterwards. So substitute. So I'm replacing this variable x with 3. And I'm replacing this variable y with 5. Okay. So notice that if it's a multiply, I definitely would just do it in brackets here, just to keep them separate. And whereas if it's just on its own like this, I could just write in the 3. I can put in brackets, but it's okay just to write in the 3. Now what do I do first here? I've got to fix this in brackets. So it's 7, take away something. If this is division, it's got to be done before I do any subtraction, order of operations. So I got to do 7, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. I still have 4 times 5 outside the bracket. I'll deal with that in a second. 7 take away 4 inside the bracket gives 3 times 4 times 5. Now you could probably skip a little bit faster than this, but I'm just doing step by step. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 5 then is 60. So we get to 60. Okay, I'm going to move on to the last question then, question 6. The dimensions of the figure. So they give you a shape. So it's bringing in some geometry, I suppose. And they say that this length here is 2m plus 5n. The 3n minus m. 2m minus, so it's plus 4n is this length here. And this is m plus n. Okay. So calculate, the first thing we want to calculate is this length here, from here to here. Here to here. That's the first thing they want to calculate in this question. Now, here to here is going to be this length, the long length, take away this bit up here, because that bit would equate to that bit, and then would be left over with the end bit. So the total length here, take away this little bit, would give that. It'd be a lot easier if they just said that this length was 10 and this was 3. You'd know that that bit was 7. But they don't. We have to work with variables because we're not entirely sure what m and n are yet. So I got to do, for part A, to find this length here, I got to do 2m plus 5n, and then I got to, take away m plus n. Now notice the way I've written it. I'm taking away, I need to take away m plus n. So what that actually would be written like, before I simplify, is take away m, but I'm minusing plus n. So that's a minus plus, or plus minus. That's a minus overall. I need to subtract n as well. So maybe some of you got that wrong if you did blue. just be careful of that little sign change here. So 2m take away, so like terms, 2m take away an m, leaves me with 1m. And 5n take away an n, leaves me with 4n. So this bit up here, perhaps you would have got it without the algebra, was m plus 4n. And it should work out that if I add this bit to that bit, that it would equal 2m plus 5n, and it does. 4n and n give 5n, and n plus n give 2n. Something similar for part B. I won't go through it in such detail this time. I need to find out this other little bit here, which would be this length take away this length. So 2n plus 4n subtract 3n minus m. Once again, this minus outside the bracket has the effect of changing the signs inside the bracket. So a minus minus here becomes a plus. Minus that and minus this, which is already negative. So that double negative makes it positive. All right, like terms, 2m plus an m is 3m's, and 4n minus 3n. So 4 of them take away. There's only one of them left, or just n left. The perimeter of the figure then will be all distances on the outside added together. So I'm going to add this, 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 and this all together. Okay, I do that underneath each other here if I want. I can put them in a line if I want. 2m plus 4n from here, 2m plus 5n from here, 3n, let's put that the other way around. This one the other way around. Minus m plus 3n, just so the m's are underneath the n's. And this one up, that's those three. And then I have my two extra answers here. M plus 4n and I've already done that one, sorry, and I'm missing this one up here, m plus n. All right, I'm kind of mixed that up a little bit. So just on the m's column, how many n's do I have? 2, 4, take away 1, 3, plus another 2, 5m. And how many n's I've got? I've got loads of n's. I've got 9 here, plus another 3 is 12, plus another 4 is 16, plus another one is 17n. So that was probably the trickiest question you've been asked in algebra, maybe so far this year. Okay, so I've already posted the total answers to all those on ManageBack. That was just a little taste of some of the trickier ones maybe. You can have that all correct.